Bada bing bada.
Hi.
Hi. It's been a minute.
Back at it again with the podcasting.
We decided to pick it up this week,
Yeah.
not last week.
No. And, we reserve the right to put things down.
Always, yep. Amber tonight is Amber Lestrange. And I don't know if she's trying to be one of my pets or not.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the ultimate goal. I don't think anyone lives as nice of a life as Tori's pets. They live a good life.
That's a good point, yeah. They
Just
do.
saying.
They get more medical care than I do.
Oh, absolutely. Hands
I
down.
will say.
They have the best medical care possible. They each have a medical team, each one of them.
They do, honestly.
Yeah, that really wasn't my intent, though. I really can't take credit. I was just feeling witchy. And
Okay.
Amber Lestrange just doesn't sound as good as Bellatrix Lestrange. So I think I will have to legally change my first name.
That sounds fair. Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to legally change my last name.
That was my next question.
I felt it brewing because I'm a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can do the spells through the screen too. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And all my animals' names, too, are Harry Potter names, except for my 13-year-old dog. So that's kind of what we were referencing there.
She is.
Oh, Bella. Yeah, that's true.
Tricks.
Right. We could squeeze her in there.
Yeah. She couldn't be any, like, there's zero similarities between Bellatrix and Bella.
That's for sure.
Like, complete opposites. So, like, that's why it's funny.
Yeah, it's ironic.
It's ironic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tori tonight is yodeling yonder, which sometimes you just get these ones that scratch my brain so nicely. This is one of them. I think it's when the words go together really well.
I really try for that. Sometimes it's tough. But
yeah, the X. Are you kidding me?
That was a stretch.
That one was difficult.
One more, and then I am released from this alliteration, and I can.
I thought we agreed
range.
you were gonna go do the alphabet backwards.
No.
Free range podcaster.
Absolutely not.
Oh my god,
I would be paid my dues.
Yeah,
and then some.
To go backwards, also, like when you just did Y and X and like all those difficult letters. No thanks.
I couldn't keep it together going forwards, Amber. I was repeating letters.
No, that's fair. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Backwards, we would be a mess. It would take, and it's been almost a year. I don't know when we started the alliteration, but we're coming up on a year of podcasting. Yeah. So it's been at least 8 months that I've been doing the alliteration.
Yeah. Yeah. We did decide, if anybody noticed, besides Birdie and my sister-in-law, Shell, that we didn't put out an episode last week. It's because we decided for the time being to release our episodes bi-weekly. Life has just been lifing lately, and we really just needed the extra time back, even though this is our favorite thing to do. We do have responsibilities, and a lot of them.
Unfortunately. And we also hope to be able to put some more time into some of the back end stuff as well. Maybe get our logo updated. An intro song would be cool. But yeah.
I did get my passwords back. That's a big update for me this week. You had mentioned to me when I first started bitching about this.
Oh my God. It's in the other app.
To download the app. Now, I swore.
The app is there already. It should be.
I actually have no idea how it happened, but the app was not on my phone. The password app. And when I did the update to the iOS 18, it got deleted in there maybe. I don't know if it was there to begin with, but basically I don't know what told me yesterday to just like double check that I had the app, because sometimes I have a bunch of apps on my phone that I hide from my home screen just because I simply never use them and I don't like clutter.
That's what I was going to say. It may have just not been like on the home screen because that app didn't exist until iOS 18.
It just simply was not on my phone at all. It was not downloaded. It wasn't
Oh,
hidden.
okay.
It was not on my phone. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Whether I deleted it or the stupid beta iOS hurricane situation fucked me up. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But something told me maybe that app just isn't on my phone. And so I searched for it and couldn't find it. And so then I downloaded it and immediately it was like, I went to sign into something and my password popped up and I was just like, it's been about
annoying, but exciting at this. That's one of those double-edged swords.
Yeah, no, for sure. But now I have the passwords back and nice. I definitely blamed Queen for that one. And I was originally going to retract the blame, but now I'm just going to double down.
I think that's right.
She deleted the app. Okay, that's what happened. She hacked into my phone. She deleted the app. She said, you suck and I hate you and no passwords for you.
Mm-hmm. Because I will say, when I downloaded, that's one of my phrases I've realized that I oversay is I will say.
Oh, all the time you say that. To everything. 800 times a podcast episode. It's like to everything that someone ever says to you, you're like, I will say. It's simply not enough to just state the opinion. You just need them to know, like, you will say the opinion.
Yeah, I've been it's really cringy like hearing it while we're editing.
It's not that bad.
Oh, for me it is. Now I forgot what I was gonna. Oh, when I downloaded iOS 18, it added that app to my phone. So that's because the app did before it was like in your settings, and then when you switched to iOS 18, the app existed instead, and it like put the app even on my home screen.
No, see, this is garbage. The system has got me fucked up.
It does.
I would like to ask the iOS developers one thing. Why did we move it from being a built-in function of iOS to being an external app? Why?
Queen?
I don't feel like there's a good answer for this. Because in my line of work, we use as little things as possible to build what we need to build. And we don't add an extra app unless we absolutely have to. So I just want to know, who is this for? Because I feel like it ain't for us.
Maybe for boomers, because it is more accessible now if you know that the switch happened.
That's the key piece of information that I think if I'm missing it, I cannot be the only person this happened to.
Let us know.
Yeah. Did you get the passwords?
Mm-hmm.
So some updates in the TV world. I saw a preview for White Lotus season 3 and I actually squealed. I know you haven't watched it, but basically it's the White Lotus is a hotel. So each season features people on vacation at one of the hotels. Season 3 that's coming out in 2025 is in Thailand. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. And
I need to watch the first 2. I don't have much that I'm watching now, so maybe I'll catch up on this.
Girl, you have to pay attention.
Damn it.
It is kind of, I was going to say that's a little difficult for you at times. Honestly, recently it's been hard for me as well. I used to be a lot better about paying attention, but I feel like it's also just because like TV is just trash most of the time these days. Like I was so excited for Outer Banks to come out and honestly, they ruined it. Like they should have just stopped at season 1. They did a great job with the first season. And after that, it's just been like each season has just gotten progressively worse. And the story has just taken too many turns.
Right. Which is how those shows tend to go to like.
Yeah. Too many side quests.
Yeah. And they're just like, because it's more for a teenage crowd, I feel like they just like, I don't know, get caught up in like it feels like reading a YA novel sometimes, you know?
Yeah. No, you're right. And it's like some of the characters just like had to deal with so much shit. You're just like, oh, parts of it got like too dark and parts of it just got too juvenile. So
yeah.
But really excited for White Lotus. Definitely recommend watching that. It's so good. Jennifer Coolidge is incredible. Chef's kiss. And honestly, both seasons have such good casts. It's insane how many great people are in both first and second season. So
yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna watch that.
Definitely.
Now's a good time too. So because I
think it's early 2025 that it's supposed to come out with the third season. So
heck yeah, and then we can cover that. And we're only a week and a half now? Oh no, like 2 weeks away from Southern Charm.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my god, what a surprise.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly lovely. 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. I can't wait for that. Also, something exciting that aired today is the first episode of the new Cruel Intentions TV show. So from what I can see, it's the same story from the movie, only a little bit more updated. So it seems like the main characters, you've not seen the movie, right?
No.
Which is insanity to me. It's like a classic. I don't know. I think I was probably 13 or 14 the first time I watched that, which is probably not an appropriate age for it. I don't know that I would let my 14-year-old watch it, but
times are different.
Yeah, it follows kids in college, and but it seems like in the TV show, they're in the Greek life, like they're in sororities, fraternities, and they may have been in a fraternity sorority in the original Cruel Intentions, but it wasn't something that was like very touched on. If it was, I don't think they were, that I remember. It's been quite a few years since I've watched it, but young Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Phillippe are just, I mean, even them now, what am I saying, young them, like they're still equally as beautiful, but they're just so good looking. So yeah, I'm excited to watch that.
I cannot stop staring. I'm sorry, this your butterfly sweater that you have on right now.
Oh, thanks.
Is this new?
No, I've had this for a while. I just haven't worn it because it's really thick. It has like the fuzzy.
Oh, I love that.
And so it's like, it's great, but it's like kind of overkill most of the year. But it's like,
I saw your wound is out and about there too.
Yeah. So just we're gonna get to that in a second. So now's as good a time as ever, I guess, to tell that story. What's going on this week? Had a Final Destination style freak kitchen accident one evening after work. I was on the phone with Birdie, which is the funniest part of this, I think. And I was also unloading the dishwasher, and I am not a fan of the big light. And so I have, I've got it's dark out because the time fucking changed, and it gets dark at 4:45 now.
Right. And you can't have the light on.
No, I've got a bunch of tiny lights on, no big lights. I'm on the phone. I'm also putting away the dishes. It's darkish. I miscalculated and turned very quickly towards my dishwasher and tripped over it. And to prevent myself from face planting into the counter, I put my arm down real quick. And I happened to break my fall and a glass cup at the same time. I effectively stabbed myself with the cup. Now,
in the wrist.
On the wrist. Right on the corner. And two things that were funny. One is that I was on the phone with Birdie. The second is that my husband is sitting, 7 feet away from me on the couch, and Birdie's talking, and I remember thinking, like, don't interrupt her. That would be so rude while she's talking. Meanwhile, I've got a shard of glass in my arm. And so I just say, like, ow, I gotta go. And that's what caught my husband's attention, was how abruptly I got off the phone. And that's when he realized something was wrong.
Something is amiss here.
I'm showing it to Tori. It's a big upside down U. And none of that was connected to my arm a week ago. I just want to say, it's healing up.
Looks like it went deep. Yeah. She was in like, she looked like she had like a wrist brace on.
For
the
about
bandage
a week.
was so large.
Yeah. My husband, thank fucking Christ, is a paramedic. And so he comes over and I just can't help but to look at it. And that was a mistake. That was the mistake. Not talking on the phone, not tripping, not arm planting a glass cup. No, the mistake was looking at it, because I immediately, my ears started ringing and I was just dizzy. Like I have never been dizzy before. And
oh my gosh.
My husband comes over and I'm trying to show it to him and I'm like, I think there's glass stuck in my arm. I can't look at it. I need to sit down. I'm gonna pass out. And thank goodness he's a formally trained paramedic, because he was like, okay, all right. And he just like scooted me over to a chair. And I didn't even register the pain of my arm because I was so freaked out that I was going to pass out. Mm-hmm. And he doctored me up. And yes, he put these bandages over my cut and then wrapped my arm with an ace bandage. So for about a week or week and a half, I looked like I broke my wrist. And in reality, I stabbed myself accidentally.
It's like, you know, when they say like if you're skateboarding or something, like don't catch yourself on your hands, because that's the most common way people break their wrist bones. Or
yes.
Well, also stab themselves should be added to that list, I think.
Yeah, and
or the least common way people stab themselves.
And my husband and I were talking about it, and it's very close to an artery, like only a few inches from an artery. And so
hate that.
Had it been just a few inches over, or had he not been there and been able to take care of it, because I couldn't look at it until it started to actually heal. I didn't look at it until a few days ago.
Can confirm she would not send me pictures, and we're like almost 2 weeks into this now, right?
Yeah. It's 2 weeks today.
Okay, yeah. And I got my first picture like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah, because I was like, well, if I take a picture of it, then I have to look at it to send it to you. So then I was like, Sean can take a picture with his phone when he changes the bandage, and I won't ever have to see it, and he'll send it to you. Insanity. Yeah, so I don't know how people who don't have a trained medical professional, I don't know how you function out there.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. Yeah. Most of us just aren't falling on glass.
Yeah. Well, now my kids are trolling me and they're like, don't use that glass, Mom. Like, stop. When I picked up my son from the football game that night, he was like, what happened to your wrist? And I told him it was from doing the dishes. And he was like, I think I should probably take over that now. I think it's about time, probably, right? Like,
oh my gosh.
Time to step aside.
But yes, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Christina Aguilera went on stage with Sabrina. Did you see that?
I did, but I didn't actually see that much of the performance. Did you see it?
Not much of it. Yeah, also, okay. I'm kind of the same boat as you. I just saw that happen. I'm pretty sure it was in LA. Yeah,
it seems like the LA shows probably really popped off. I mean, it makes sense because so many famous people live there. Did you see that Jack Antonoff and Margaret Damn. She arrested Jack's wife, Margaret.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's cute.
Yeah, and she called her like a hottie with substance, because Margaret does seem like she's rather intelligent.
Oh,
so does Jack, but Margaret even more so.
Yeah, so I guess don't know much about that on my end, except that it happened, and I thought that was pretty cool. Also, what's going on this week? I got a puppy.
Yay! Yeah.
Yeah, she's 7 months old. She's a black lab. Her name is Lily Potter, to fit the theme. I call her Lilith.
Lilith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, always good. In that tone, because
she's a puppy.
She's usually not doing good girl things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love her. She's a bit of a handful. It's an interesting time in my life to have a puppy. But here we are. She needed a home, and I love her, and I have her.
Is she snuggly? I meant to ask you that.
Not really, but she also like doesn't get on the furniture. I think the people she had before her trained her not to get on the furniture. So I feel like there's not a lot of like opportunity to be snuggly. And she will come and like put her head in my lap while I'm working sometimes and just kind of like hang out with her head in my lap. But
that's adorable. And I have to say, as your friend, it makes me feel a lot better that you have another dog, because I love Bella and she is the literal best dog I have ever met in my life. And I love my dogs, but Bella is the best dog.
She's so well behaved.
But she's a little deaf.
She's very deaf.
And Tori is a single mom and needs a little guard dog in her life. And that is exactly what Lily Potter will guard you with her life.
And my baby.
And your baby. Yes. Harry.
I will call him Harry if I need to.
So are you Hagrid? Like, who are you in this situation?
Well, we haven't quite figured that out yet. Ooh.
It's problematic. Yeah.
We haven't figured it out yet. I would say Tonks, but I don't see how that or Tinks? Tonks. Tinks, Tonks. I don't see how that really works into the equation.
Also, what's going on this week, Taylor had an insane merch drop. This is only one of the maybe first or second times I've paid attention to when she drops merch. So I don't know if it's common, but it seemed like there was a lot of merch. Like a lot.
Oh, it's coming like every day.
It's insane.
We're getting a new drop. Yeah. And I think this always happens around the holidays, or at least last year it did too.
Okay.
And it sucks because I'm like, well, 3 days of this, I don't have any more money now, Taylor. I'm so annoyed because the cardigans opened back up. I literally saw it 3 minutes after it started, and the Speak Now one, which is the only, I don't have the red or the Speak Now, but the Speak Now is the one I want.
Is it purple?
Yeah.
Oh, you do need that. I will keep an eye out if they restock that.
Thank you.
What size do you get?
Small. Okay. It's XS or S. It's like one size.
If I see it in stock, then I will add to cart immediately.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I ordered it initially when they came out, and they sent it to the wrong apartment.
Oh, I would cry my eyes out.
I did. Oh, I blasted them on Twitter.
Yes.
I made a scene. I only got my money back though. I was trying to make a scene to potentially, because I even said y'all have opened it back up by the time this went on for months of me bitching to them.
Yeah.
By the time it had happened, like by the time I was like wrapping up with talking to someone, they re-released it and I missed that release. And I'm like, y'all have them. Send me one.
And you could have helped me out here.
I never got it.
I will say, I saw a video on Instagram today of someone reviewing some of the merch, and she got two of the things that I was really eyeing. One was the Cowboy Like Me jacket, and the other was the Cruel Summer sweatshirt. Now listen, I'm not even a huge Cruel Summer's all right. It's cool. I'm not
a huge fan.
I'm not dying to have a sweatshirt that has Cruel Summer on it, because that doesn't really mean anything to me. However, there were some celestial elements, there was a celestial vibe in everywhere. But
which is interesting.
It had stuff on the sleeves and on the back, and it was just very well done. And the creator who posted the review, she noted that the sweatshirt was basically purple. It wasn't really pink.
Yeah, and you would definitely, for a lover, you would expect it to be pink.
It has to be pink. And the purple, it was still really pretty. But when you're expecting like a hot pink sweatshirt and then you get a purple one, that's pretty disappointing.
What was more upsetting to me was the Cowboy Like Me jacket that was $120 and it wasn't even embroidered.
It wasn't embroidered, and it was thin. Like, remember we were saying we couldn't justify it because we live in Florida and it's just not cold enough to have a heavy jacket. It wasn't even a heavy duty jacket. It's like a lightweight utility jacket that has like a fur collar, which to me is, I would not wear that. And it's not embroidered.
It looks like something you would buy at Walmart.
Yeah. And it's a shame because if it was embroidered, even if it was embroidered and the material was the same, I could look past that fully. But $120 for a twill jacket that's not embroidered, no.
I bet a lot of people will be returning that.
Yeah. So I'm still on the fence if I'm going to get that Reputation sweatshirt. I have so many sweatshirts. Like I've had this one for years and you didn't even recognize it.
I didn't know.
So
I know it's tough. Are there any you want to donate? That's usually how I convince myself to buy more. I'm like, oh, well, this is a win-win. It's, I'm giving to charity.
And I
also, just what's going on this week, we are on our second to last weekend of the Eras tour, and I am distraught. I'm like, who will I be?
Do we think it's the end? You don't think she's going to announce more tour dates at some point, even if it's not right away?
I think it's definitely, it's definitely the end for now, I think. I think she needs a break. But
no, for sure.
And then if
How
she
long
does
has
something
this been going on?
2 years. Honestly, I don't know how she's doing. And then she's knitting blankets for friends in between. I don't know if you saw that in our Band of Clowns chat. She met someone at a football game. I don't know the woman's name, but they're like close friends now. And she knitted her children blankets in between sets, and like,
of course she did.
Tour show. Like,
that is adorable.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's the second to last weekend. I don't know who I'm going to be. I do think if she does something like this again, I think she'll rebrand it. I don't think it'll be the Eras tour.
No, that makes sense.
But I think she might do something similar where it's not just one album that she tours. Because maybe that's wishful thinking, but like, how do you just go back to...
I know, but I also have such a hard... I mean, maybe it's because I've only ever been to one concert. I have such a hard time imagining standing at one of those for 3.5 hours. This RHONYC concert was like an hour and a half.
We were also...
yeah.
If we had a few less drinks, I think it would have been easier.
Or harder. I don't know.
Good point. Yeah, because we did have strength.
Yeah. Like we were going up those steps.
Oh my God. I was so scared because there's that little gap in the railing. Every time I was praying going down those 4 steps, like, you can't slip here, Tori. You will lose a tooth.
Yeah.
You cannot lose teeth.
More than one.
You cannot lose teeth.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. So next week, also Monday, we have Giggly Squad.
Yeah.
Yay.
I have to say I'm highly disappointed in myself for not thinking more about the outfit that I'm going to be wearing when I'm in the same room as Paige DeSorbo. I'm disappointed in myself for that. I mean, we put a lot of thought and planning into Sabrina. Now that's a different vibe. A concert, definitely different. So far, my options are kind of odd.
Okay.
They're both kind of hippy dippy, which I don't think is the vibe, but I kind of don't know what else to do. So I'm either doing like flowy skirt blouse situation or a little hippie mini dress.
What's the hippie mini dress?
It's just like this like pink and purple kind of embroidered little mini dress.
Okay.
It's kind of casual, so I'll probably have to layer, but I might do like tights. That could be really cute.
Okay, yeah.
I have some black tights with a snake on them that are giving Reputation, Amber's version.
Yes.
So that might work with the dress because it's kind of hippie-ish. So we'll see. I don't know.
I was going to say Amber Lestrange's version, which kind of gives us that crossover we were once talking about.
That's impeccable.
I think I'm going to go that white shirt with the cleavage.
Yes.
And I'm thinking like a mini skirt with it, but I wasn't thinking about how it's going to be cold. So
tights.
Yeah, I might do some tights with it as well, which means I need to pick those up. But I think that could be really cute. And then I don't know what to do for shoes yet.
If you're doing
maybe
white,
my Uggs, my fluffy Uggs.
Could you repurpose your platform? What if you did a black skirt and tights and then
That's
the white boots?
Maybe. I'll give it a go. I'll try it. And it'll be nicer because I'm not walking so much.
Right. We're going to be sitting down.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be so much fun. And my friend Carla's coming with us too, who I used to work with. You're going to love her. She's just like so sweet. I'm so excited. Okay, so this week, how do we feel about ... sex in the dark versus sex in the light?
I think I was a lot more sensitive about this when I was younger. Like, I can specifically remember times where I was like, it's not going to happen. I mean, we know my feelings on the big light. So I think we know my feelings on this. That about covers it, right? That like sums it up. So
yeah.
But in my older years of wisdom, I don't know, I feel a certain confidence about what's going on. So it doesn't really bother me. I think there's times where I feel like just kind of like not as whatever, that I don't love it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
If I'm like not feeling cute that day, like it's not that I'm the same person. It's not that I don't look as cute. I just like sometimes don't feel as cute.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, yeah, just turn the lights off.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is fun with the lights on too. So I think I'm back and forth with this.
It depends on how like in the moment I am as well.
Right. Because like if it's like a heat of the moment thing, it's not like, oh, hang on, let me go turn the light off.
Right. Like I'm not prepping for it.
Yeah. It's like, no, you stay here.
Right. Yeah. No, I think I was a lot more sensitive about this in my younger years for sure. Like I remember being very self-conscious.
I was too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like, and it might still be like this, to be determined, but with someone new.
Well, okay. See, I feel like I'm not equipped to answer the question because I haven't been with someone new in 17 years. Like,
right. But like, I feel like that if like I hook up with someone new, I'm like, would I be comfy? And now Freddie and I did, and there was daylight coming through the windows.
Yeah.
But,
and you were more concerned with the belly flop.
There were higher concerns at the time.
That can be cut out. Actually, we hate him. We
left it in there.
We did. Savage.
No, I left it in.
Savage. And we were pretty sure that he might be listening for a while, right? Back when
No,
he wasn't.
He listened to 1 minute of it and said, "This isn't for me."
Fuck you, Freddie.
And I said, "Well, keep your opinion to yourself."
Yeah, you're clearly wrong, but all right.
Yeah, this feels like one of those times when men are wrong.
Yeah, just unequivocally.
What I told him is, well, you're not our target audience.
Yes, queen. Yes, that's good. That's good.
And
you're
it's
not
true.
The target demographic.
Right.
You're not anyone's target demographic.
Now that I think about it, I think Maddie Mitchell says that too.
Well, queen shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm off and on with it. And I to be determined if I get any action ever again, I'll
report back.
I'll put it in the updates. Yeah. Because I feel like that's the time I'll be most sensitive about it, is like the first couple times with someone.
Yeah.
Because especially in my post baby body, which I'm still kind of, getting the hang of.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So for Tinder adventures this week, I haven't been swiping much. There was 2 guys that I was talking to. And I found myself, especially after getting the puppy, just like leaving them hanging a bit.
Yeah.
And I felt kind of bad because they both seemed like very nice guys. So I had a date planned with one of them, and the other one I hadn't planned anything with. And I told Amber the day of the date that I said, well, if this one doesn't work out, like I'm done for a while, because I feel like I'm just like getting a little bit less interested. I'm just so busy right now. Like I don't want to be the person who's like leaving them hanging.
Yeah.
If they're interested, it just, if I don't have the time to do it, I shouldn't be doing it. And then I went on this date with this guy and I like him.
He does. He seems refreshingly normal and evolved. Yes. From what we can tell.
So far.
Yeah. I think this is, from an outside perspective, I think maybe the most promising connection that you've had.
And I seem to like him for the right reasons and not just because I'm getting attention.
I do agree with that. Well, and I think he's just not as quick to give attention of what you're used to because probably because he's, got a real job. Right.
My ears aren't good. And like he doesn't kind of boom his voice out. So that was a little bit of a struggle on our date. The texting fair. Is easier. I think next time I might request that he text me while we are present in each other's company. I'm just kidding. God, I hate my ears. I wish I could hear better.
Text only, please.
And like, I didn't want to ask him to repeat himself like over and over again because my ears suck. So I just, half the time I would ask for the repeat so that I it doesn't look like I'm all the time just going, yeah. And then the other half of the time I was going, yeah.
Yeah, no, fair. Totally valid. That's, you can't say to everything. You got to pick your battles.
Yes, yeah. It was a really good date, though. We finally went to that mini golf place that I've been wanting to go
public service announcement. Thanks. Thanks for taking her there.
Yes. And he even like gave me like at first, the first time he beat me by like 8 strokes or something. And then the second course was the harder one. And he only beat me by 1 because he had given me like a tip as we were playing. So
did he do like cheesy like put his arms around you situation?
No, but I kind of wanted him to.
Damn it. Like that's your in, man. Come on.
Yeah.
It's a meet cute. Are you kidding?
Yeah. But we had a little smooch at the end. And yeah, it was awkward like always with, but it was like a cute awkward. So
I don't know. My first kiss with Sean wasn't awkward. It was very cute.
Well, I meant like always with the online dating.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. No, usually if you can like develop a relationship organically, like it doesn't have that like awkward. It's like, do we kiss? Do we not? What are your standard? Like.
Yeah. Again, I wouldn't know because I stopped dating at the age of 18.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird on the apps. So, but yeah, I like him. So this guy we are calling Ally McBeal.
Apparently.
No context needed.
That's it. Yeah. On to the next.
Giving context would give those real defining clues that
we're simply trying to protect his anonymity.
Yes, yeah. So Ally it is. And I haven't been there. The other guy I was talking to, I just haven't signed on to Bumble because, again, I was already kind of over it anyway. So I do feel kind of bad. I probably left him hanging, but I just don't have the energy for it right now. So if things play out with Ally, nice. If not, then I'll be taking a little break.
I think, I just really respect the way you have gone about it. I think you just have listened to what feels right to you. And I don't think there's any other way to do it than that. So
yeah.
All right, we're getting into the consumption section. So I'll kick us off with Throne of Glass. First of all, I just want to say, Birdie and I started this series together, and Girlfriend has sped right through. She finished the first book like a week ago. I happened to stab myself in the wrist 2 weeks ago, so I hadn't really been in the mood to hold my book.
Yeah,
but fair. I am really trying to get through it because I did tell her I'd be finished with it by Monday, and it's Thursday. And I'm not finished. But I am about halfway through the book. And it is starting to get really good to the point where I know a book is getting good when I don't want to put it down. I mean, that's kind of obvious, right?
Yeah.
Hot take. What? That's some unique shit right there. Unique
Should that be the time?
Oh, God. So, yes, I am invested in the book. And we've continued through the competition. Some of the competitors have started to get murdered along the way in very violent ways, I will say. Oof. One guy had like all of his innards pulled out.
I don't like that. That's very English.
So it's getting good. Champions are getting picked off. Selena is having trouble being mediocre. Kale has told her, listen, nobody knows that you're Aderlin's assassin. They think that you're Lady Lillian. And basically they didn't tell anyone her true identity of who she really was, just to try to help protect her and get her further in the competition.
That's what I was going to ask, if she's trying to kind of lay low.
Yes. And her biggest competitor, Kane, who seems like a total asshag, just bros, you know, like opposite of girls, just bros, bro.
We hate that.
Hate him. In the last chapter, approached her and said that he knows who she is. So, you know, they didn't do a great job hiding it, but most of the people think that she's Lady Lillian. So all the champions, this is a weird part of the story to me that kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. So they're at court. They're in a castle living amongst the people that live in the castle. And the people don't know that there's a bunch of assassins living in the castle with them. Like, they have no idea that this competition's going on. It's not like a public competition where people are watching it. It's just like the only people there are like the king, and each champion has like a sponsor, basically.
It's underground.
So, yeah. So Selena's sponsor is the prince, and Kale, I guess, is like they're kind of working together. Okay. So that's
someone
really
would blow
weird.
that whistle.
Yeah, it's weird. So it's I don't know. I'm just like, that part of the story I'm having a hard time believing, I guess. But so she goes between like going and being in this competition and then wearing like these ball gowns and, you know, going through the castle pretending that she is just like everybody else, but she's not. And she loves to read. I love that detail. I feel like a lot of authors' female main character is often someone who loves to read. Which makes sense, I guess. But anyway, so recently Selena found a secret passage in her room. There was a tapestry over this one wall, and she noticed that it was, as you do, it was moving back and forth. And she was like, my windows aren't open. Why is the tapestry moving? And then she discovers the secret passageway. And of course, she checks it out. She snoops through the secret passages, and she realizes that she could escape, but that they would probably come after her. And she says that she wants to win her freedom. And, you know, so she's on the brink of escape, and then goes back. And
why did they put her in the room with the hole in the wall?
Well, I guess it's the castle's so old. When they put her in that room, the people in the castle just didn't realize that there was a secret passage there, because she does say that she inspects the secret passage and that there's a layer of dust on everything. So it hasn't been disturbed in a very long time. Okay. So it doesn't seem like anybody currently is using the secret passage. And then after she uses the secret passage, she has this quote unquote dream where the former queen comes to her and says there's a really dark force in the castle, and that it's up to Selena to figure it out and to figure out what's going on. All these like murders are happening. And so she tells her that she needs to like win and be the king's champion and take care of whatever evil is lurking in the castle. And Selena's just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, I am just trying to win this competition. If she wins as the king's champion, she has to serve as his champion or his personal assassin, basically, for, I think, 5 years. And then she wins. She earns her freedom. The other thing that's really annoying me about this is the love triangle that's happening between Selena, Kale, and Dorian. So
not Kale.
Yeah. And it's not on Selena's end. It's on their end. Like, she does say that she wants to kiss Dorian. She hates Kale. And she hates Dorian, too. She's just like, Dorian's hot. Like, I would kiss him. Okay. But Dorian's a man whore. Fair. Like, he visibly flirts with everyone. From what I understand from Birdie, the love triangle situation does not resolve in this book. So,
dang.
TBD. I mean, it's an 8-book series, so we've got a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, that's where we're at. I'm very interested. I asked Birdie today if the ending was one that she predicted, and she said no. And Birdie knows everything. So it's pretty big if she didn't predict the ending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing about that then.
Hoping by our next episode I'll be finished with the book and started with the second one.
So. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I have been watching so much Real Housewives of New York City. I've kind of ran through all the other options. Mm-hmm. I think I have finished season 5, 6, and 7 in the last, couple weeks.
Amazing.
And we're now on 8. There's 13 total. So getting towards the end. It's exciting. Awesome. I want to talk about a little bit the prosthetic leg of it all.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This was insane. So Aviva has a prosthetic leg. She got into an accident as a child on a barn cleaner outer. It's like a conveyor belt, and her friend, it was at her friend's parents' barn, and they were riding it, and her foot got stuck. And her friend had to shut off the machine, and horrific. So
basically
she could have died.
That's so scary.
Yeah. So it's cool to see her doing so well. And you can't even tell, if she didn't say that she had a prosthetic leg, you wouldn't even be able to tell. It's so well made. Anyways, she has been in the drama a lot. This is her second season. I believe this is the end of season 6, 5 or 6. I think 6. And it's funny because I always feel like with the new housewives, their first season, I love them. Yeah. Because they're usually kind of sitting in the background, they're observing, they're kind of getting the lay of the land.
Yeah.
By the second season, they are immersed in the drama, and then you really see the true them.
Yeah. Their freak flag is flying by then.
Yeah.
If you will.
They feel more confident to get involved. So Aviva got more involved, and she always seems to have excuses why she can't go on the trips or why she can't go on them without her husband. So she'll bring her husband along. This time they were going to Montana, and she said that she couldn't go because she developed asthma. And I do think she was not lying about that, but some of the girls thought she was lying about that. And then some of the other girls thought she's telling the truth about that. But her real issue is not being able to go anywhere without her husband, and the men were not invited to this trip, so she didn't want to go. So because she developed this asthma, she was maybe exaggerating or
embellishing.
Yeah, so she went to this dinner with them and brought the medical documents to the dinner. She's pulling out x-rays of her chest. God. And then Sonia's over there no, this is a boob job. This is asthma.
She knows. Sonia's a hot mess. They're all such hot messes.
Sonia, for sure, though. Yeah. I love Sonia, too, though. Something about her, I love her, but she is a wreck when she drinks too much.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And it begs the question, is she mixing things that she shouldn't be, for sure?
No, definitely.
But I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But yeah, so Aviva ends up, they're still questioning her after the documents are flying around the table. And it seemed like Aviva had this planned, and there is some dispute over it. But all of a sudden she goes, "The only thing fake about me," and she yanks her prosthetic leg off and slams it down on the table and says, "Is this leg?" And then she picks the leg up and throws it across the room.
She chucks it like a football. It's insane. Just when you're it can't get any weirder than her slamming the prosthetic leg on the table, she throws it.
And it was so funny because the second she slammed the leg on the table, I paused it and I said, I have got to speak to someone about this. And I sent Amber a voice note, and in the voice note I'm like, okay, I will find a TikTok to send you.
Yeah.
And I go to TikTok and I search Aviva, and the first thing that comes up is Aviva throws leg. And I'm like, wait, she hasn't thrown the leg yet. So I go back to the to the show, and I hit play. And then I see the rest of it where she picks the leg up and throws it. It's unbelievable. In the reunion, they do ask her, were you planning to do that? She says she wasn't. But there does seem to be some doubt about that.
It seems like it was a little bit planned. Whether she decided in advance or 5 seconds before, I don't know. But it's pretty chaotic.
It is so much. So then also, so Aviva's ex-husband, Harry, has dated a few of the other women, including Sonia and Luann. I think after he was with Aviva or before. I don't know the timeline exactly. So him and Sonia were getting very close. And then he actually gave Sonia a promise ring at this like party that they were all together. It was Carol's 50th party, which, by the way, I love Carol. She's probably my favorite. And he gives her the promise ring, and then he goes up and starts talking to Luann, and then they leave together in a cab. And that's how the season ends. Oh no, Sonia went and chased after the cab, twisted her ankle. She was like had ice on her ankle and stuff the next day. So that was not very girl code of Luann, is what it appeared at first. Then we hear later at the reunion that like Heather and other people were also in the car with Luann and Harry. However, Harry did seem like he was being kind of flirty with Luann at that party. And then, so maybe they did all go out dancing together, but I wouldn't be shocked if something did happen between Luann and Harry, but I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
So, and I believe this was season 7, they all go to Turks and Caicos together for Sonia to, do you remember this? Have you seen this?
Yes. This is like, well, it's like one of Luann's like classic lines. Like she's like, don't be not cool, be cool.
Right, be cool.
Be cool. Yeah. Don't be like uncool. Right. It's like, you call yourself the Countess and you're not even a Countess anymore.
No. Yeah. And he was married. So Luann brings back a guy, and then it seemed like Ramona was kind of playing wingman to his friend. But like Ramona wasn't actually interested in him. So Luann and that guy go out for and I'm doing air quotes for the listeners, walk on the beach. and then Luann sends her guy home. I don't think Ramona knew what to do with the guy she was entertaining, and she wasn't really interested in him. And she's new to this whole being single thing. So she, I don't think, thought this through. But she ended up putting him in one of the upstairs bedrooms. And apparently he went to sleep naked, which I find to be strange if you're in someone else's home.
In a house full of women.
And in a home that's not your own.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the room that he was in was connected through a bathroom to Carol and Heather's room. So Heather comes out in the morning expecting there to only be women in this house. And she's got a robe kind of just, she was naked and had a robe just kind of over her. It wasn't even closed up all the way. She walks through the bathroom to go into the other room to go out into the hallway. I don't know why she did that. Maybe she was trying to see if they were up yet in that other room or something. And instead of seeing anyone in the room who she would expect to see, she sees this naked stranger male laying in the bed, and then she's trying to like cover herself up because she's almost naked too.
Yeah.
And then this whole scene unfolds. By the time the cameras are there, the male is out of the house, but Heather is sobbing.
She's quite upset.
She's very upset. And I do understand like them being upset about a strange man being left unattended. Like if you're going to bring a man home, 100% fine, but like stay with him. Or send him away.
Tell everybody what's going on.
Well, they came back so late that they would have had to like wake them up.
Oh, they were already asleep. Just kidding.
Yeah. But you either stay with them or you send them away or let them sleep outside and lock the doors. Like something, but you don't just leave them unattended. So I can understand that. But like Heather was definitely being a bit over the top.
Yeah.
And then they're barging into like Ramona's room, and Ramona was just like hungover and not wanting to deal with it. You could tell. And she was like, I don't know, talk to Luann. So then they go into Luann's room, and Luann got so upset. And not even so much in the moment, but this came out like an episode or 2 later. But they barge into Luann's room, just kind of like, I think they may have knocked, but they open the door pretty quickly, go in there. And then Luann comes out and says that famous line, like, be cool, just be cool. Like, what does it matter? And then Heather's like, you would be fine waking up to a strange man in your house. And Luann's like, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm cool.
I'm cool. Yeah, just be cool. But then in the next couple episodes, like Luann starts to think that they were trying to catch her like with a guy in the room, and that's why they barged into her room. So that like caused the whole thing. It was very silly, really, all of it.
Yeah. That about sums it up, you know?
Yeah. There were a couple mistakes. Like Ramona should have sent him away. obviously. And then like Heather, like, yeah, it's upsetting, it's annoying, you do have your jewelry out and stuff, like I get that, but like nothing is missing, so
everybody's okay.
Let's reel it in. He is gone. Everyone's okay. Let's just kind of lay the ground rules for next time and move on. Like, why do we have to do that?
We don't have to harp on it.
Right. Bethany came back for season 7 and Dorinda entered. Bethany is on her, like, game. She was hard to like a little bit in the first couple. Like, I did end up liking her, but she really had to grow on you. Mm-hmm. She's still pretty abrasive, but, like, she's so honest, and she's all of season 7 actually was so cool because a lot of the girls who would always, they're still arguing a lot, but they actually apologize to each other.
Yeah.
And like it felt very girl power, like girl coded, like all of season 7 was super cute and I loved it. It was just very girls girly for the most part. It's great to see Bethany back. I really like her more this time around. She's grown. She's had more experiences. Mm-hmm. And she seems to really – she's going to therapy. She seems to really be trying to, like, really fit in more with the girls and have girlfriends and, like, kind of foster those relationships. Yeah. And then Dorinda, we've seen a couple crazy moments from her. But for the most part, she seems really cool. Her boyfriend, John, is the whole thing. He's gross and he comes in super aggressively. I don't even have this on the notes yet because I just watched this today, but in season 8 he ends up getting in a fight with Bethany and like he's super like on more than just alcohol.
Oh,
it seems
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he comes in just like screaming at this little girl and he's this huge guy. Ugh. And it's super aggressive. It's disgusting to see. And then Dorinda just kind of like, I understand that she's in this weird place and that she's going through a lot on her own and trying to like process the fact that her boyfriend is kind of shitty. Mm-hmm. But she definitely just brushes it under the rug and it puts her friends, I think, in a weird place.
I agree. Yeah.
Carol went to London to get, so Dorinda's a widow and Carol is a widow as well. And mm-hmm. Carol had brought her husband's ashes to a church that her husband's dad had built. Mm-hmm. And then she got an email saying, we're turning this into condos, so you need to come pick up the ashes. And she went to London to pick up the ashes and she went with Dorinda and they just had this really cute like widows bonding moment.
I do remember that episode.
Yeah, it was really, really sweet, wholesome, and that was nice. And that's it. That's all I got for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We got the first episode this week as well.
Did you watch it yet?
Yes, I did. It's going to be a fun season. We have a new wife, Bose, I think is her name, B-O-Z. She Sutton threw this oddities party. Stunning. Mm-hmm. Her outfit was so beautiful. There's all this drama between Dorit and Kyle, mm-hmm. where I don't know if they're going to be able to mend it. They seem to really... Dorit's going through a divorce, and Kyle also is going through a divorce, but Kyle's has been it's been ongoing for a little bit longer. And Kyle didn't even reach out to Dorit, but she did reach out to PK, Dorit's husband.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. They've both done some things that are wrong, and I don't think either of them is willing to fess up to it. So, but it was all over the internet is how Dorit in like the first couple seconds of the episode, she's just like smoking a Parliament, like driving so fast through the mountains.
Yeah.
In a super nice car. And people are like, oh, we are seeing a different Dorit.
I love
this season, now that she's going through divorce.
Unhinged. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go girl. Mm-hmm. Enjoy your Parliament.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Kathy seems to be in it more this season as well. She kind of comes and goes. Kathy Hilton. Yeah. And she's just so wonky. She got to the oddities party and starts pulling out her hair extensions because she's like, I'm feeling hot. And she's just like yanking out the hair.
Oh my God.
Extensions.
Our curated list this week is petty hills I'll die on. First and foremost, using speakerphone in public should be a ticketable offense.
100%. My mom does this. I had the baby sleeping in the car. Nope. So she got in the car. She knew Finn was sleeping. She was on the phone with her friend and then just flips it to speakerphone out of nowhere. I think what her friend was talking about, like they were talking about something that could help my deaf dog. So she flipped it to, but she could have just told me that thing.
Right.
She flips it to speakerphone at the highest volume possible. And I look back to the baby as I'm driving, real quick glance. And I look at her and I'm like, can you turn it down a little at least? And she turns it down. Finn starts screaming.
Of course. Of fucking course. The next hill I'll die on, that's quite petty. Toilet paper roll, it goes over, not under. Come on.
Yes.
For fuck's sake.
When I was in my divorce class, because I had to take a divorce class for the divorce I'm going through. It's interesting that they make you do that.
Nobody told us that.
The only option was a religious-based one, too, which was,
of course,
interesting. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I took this class, and the guy mentioned, we want to make sure we're not fighting over stupid stuff like, does the toilet paper roll go over or under? And I said, that's not stupid.
Who decided that was stupid?
That's not at all. That's fair. And they laughed, but I was like, no, I'm being serious.
Yeah. What the fuck? Has no one ever taken this class?
Right. I will die on this hill.
That's the hill I've gone to die on. The next one is that Bluetooth should connect and disconnect at my whim or not exist at all. Yes. Read my mind or don't be here.
No, all I have to say to that is yes.
Yeah. I had to use earbuds. And then finally, Tori bought me headphones because my Bluetooth headphones simply would not connect to my computer. They'll connect to my phone. They work great with my phone, not my computer.
Mm-mm. They weren't made for each other.
Nope.
They were not soulmates.
Nope. Another hill that I'll die on is that people who say same difference when you're in a conversation, they're just automatically wrong, no matter what they're talking about.
I will say I do say it sometimes, but usually in an ironic way.
Right.
Like,
that's the only way to use it. I recognize
that this is dumb.
Yeah. Now, I've got some features. I knew you were going to find this interesting. And in fact, these next two came from the one and only Birdie. And she, when I asked her, I said, what's some petty hills that you'll go to die on? She said, well, I know you guys talked about this and you didn't have strong feelings about merge lanes. But she said, you better get the fuck over. And if you come over last minute, I'll steal your tires.
See, I have a totally different opinion than her on that.
That's hilarious.
We need to have her on the podcast because we deleted that, actually. We deleted that whole thing from the episode.
No, I told her, I was like, I just didn't know what to say about merge lanes. Like, I just don't care that much. And apparently people do feel strongly about this.
Yes, we do. And I feel exactly the opposite, exactly the opposite of her. Because why are there two lanes? Why would we all get in one line when we could all be in these two lines and zipper into each other?
She also said her husband not rinsing her dishes. She says she'll go to jail for a homicide if this man does not rinse his fucking dishes.
Honestly, yeah. Is she cooking the food too?
Mm-hmm.
A crime. That's a crime.
Yeah.
Lock him up.
Send him to jail.
I have some qualms with the silent K. I will reference Cat Williams. You can't just put it in the middle of Bob and say it's Bacab.
True.
It is Bacab if you put it in there. There's a K. The K has a sound.
Yeah.
Why did we say that it doesn't have a sound?
The sounds, if we're not going to use them for the letters that they belong to.
Right. Any PH, change it to an F. just get rid of it and make it an F. Knife. Like, that's a fair mistake.
Yeah. It's knife.
Yeah, like, honestly, if I was a teacher and my student said that is pronounced knife, I would say, gold star. You've done your work. Yeah,
Send them to the pronunciation podcast.
And this hill, I have been on often and somehow on dating apps more than once. I don't know how I always get on this topic, but house insurance. If you make a claim, you could have been paying for 20 years, they drop you. You're out.
Can't do it.
The only thing you can get then is Citizens, and I don't know, it might be different geographically, but Citizens is like the worst.
Basically, your house isn't insured if you got that.
It's so expensive. Right. So how is that? What the fuck? There should be a law against that. If you've been paying into that. Now, I can understand an insurance company dropping you if you've been paying in for a year and all of a sudden you need a $100,000 repair.
Right.
It's fucked up because they have made that money off of other people, and that's kind of the point of insurance, and they should be able to cover it. It's still fucked up. That I can understand a little bit more, though. But you've been paying for 20 years. You have one $5,000 repair, and they're like, we can't – we'll fix it, but we can't have you anymore. Now you're going to pay more.
Yeah.
Monthly.
And I will say, as someone who has worked in insurance sales, it makes even less sense when you've been licensed in it.
Jesus.
And it's not just house insurance. All insurance is just kind of a scam. And they package it to you in this nice little bow, like it's there to protect you. And it's like, no.
I agree with that, yeah. But house insurance is the worst, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely.
At least my car I can make a claim on. Like they might raise my
your rate,
my policy next, the next renewal, but at least they will accept me still.
I've had several cars get totaled, and never has my insurance gone that through the roof for my automobiles. Like several times we've had like full on claims, total loss. And my insurance was really expensive when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
But since then, yeah. Anyway, no. Home insurance is a scam. And it's like the one thing where you actually need it. Like typically, I mean, car repairs can be really expensive too, but a lot of times with claims, like you probably could afford to pay for it out of pocket if you had to. You could figure it out, right? But like with a house claim, you can't. Right. And what's also very interesting is that if there is, so when Irma hit in 2017, I worked for Progressive, and I was a first-time homeowner. We bought our house the beginning of that year. And lastly, this one is probably the hill I'll actually die on, and it's that the wrong font will absolutely ruin my day. 9 times out of 10, if my client has picked the font in advance of the project starting, my day's ruined. I've been surprised once by a font.
Like pleasantly surprised, you mean? Oh, ugh.
Yep. Oof. Yep. And I was like, and I told the client, I was like, I hate this font. This is ugly. This is bad. Real bad. But somehow it worked. I made it work.
Okay.
I made that. Okay. I made it work.
Because you're a witch.
Because, yeah. I'm a witchy witch. So
this week for Who's the Better Friend, we are guessing each other's favorite content creators.
Yeah.
My turn to guess first. I'm just going to preface this by saying I'm 99% sure Amber's going to win this one.
Yeah, this is a lot harder one than I thought, simply because, well, first of all, I couldn't decide on my 3 favorite content creators. It was really hard to choose. And also just, it was like, everyone's a content creator. Like, we're content creators. So,
right. Oh, good point. Oh, I left you off the list, unfortunately.
Oh, I forgot you as well.
Okay, so yeah, for yours, it's really hard for me because mine, I feel like I talk about mine a lot because, and it's all in the same kind of genre. But yours, I know, are probably across multiple genres.
They are.
So for number 1, I have some kind of book creator.
No, but that probably should have been on there.
Damn.
Oh, I suck. You're great. I feel like you deserve a point for that.
No. If it's not on there.
It should be, but okay.
Okay, number 2, Paige DeSorbo.
Oh, not on the list.
Wow. Number 3, Shannon Ford.
Shannon's on the list. She's number 2, though.
Okay, so I got 1 point.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that, considering how blind I felt going into this. Okay.
You did good. Okay, so the book creator that is my favorite is called Books in Betches. They're hilarious. There's 3 females. The main person who I think does most of the front-facing talking on stories and stuff, Erica, I think we're kind of the same person, just different fonts. Like, I think she works in the web world as well.
Oh.
So I think and she's a mom, like we have a lot of similarities. And I almost always agree with Erica's standpoint. So if you're ever looking for a creator for books and Betches is really good. They review books, they spoil them, but they're hilarious. Like they're very funny. Nice. So that should have been on there probably as number 2, but that didn't make it. Oh. So it's okay. My first person that I put down was Amber Fillerup. Do you know who that is?
Never heard of her. Nope.
Okay, so back in the day when Instagram was first created, she went by, I think it was the Barefoot Blonde was her handle, and she is a mom blogger, and she did a lot of like lifestyle posts and stuff like that, but she always had these insane braids. Like she would do these big Dutch braids or like these awesome like space bun braids. Like she was just very good at doing hair, and that wound up leading to, she really branched out as a creator. So now she owns a hair product company where she makes like shampoo and conditioner and gel and all that kind of stuff, but she also has like a extensions line. But she's very I feel like I evolved with her because she was around when Instagram was first created. She's really changed since then. Her kids have grown up a lot. She's very artistic. She paints and does pastels. She's always creating something really beautiful, and she's kind of just awesome. And she also was in the Mormon church. I believe she's no longer in the Mormon church. And I really applaud her as a mom, especially above all else. I really love everything that she has to say about parenthood.
Nice.
So she's number 1. Shannon Ford is number 2 because she is just so unique and unhinged and funny. I think we would be friends if we knew each 100%.
Other. 100%.
Yeah. Love Shannon. And then my third favorite creator is a girl named Cami Reyes. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So she is the creator who draws dryads. And I'm going to put her handle in the description of this episode because she is an illustrator. She's incredibly talented. She draws these beautiful creatures that are basically just like tree people. So it's like the trees in Lord of the Rings, but like feminine.
Oh, okay.
And
that's cool.
Yeah. So Birdie and our friend group, we send them back and forth to each other all the time. And we're like, you're this one. Cause there's she draws like this, all these different kinds based on different trees and all kinds of stuff. And her artwork is just so inspiring. So she's my favorite.
Heck yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm going to do pretty good for yours. I think I've got,
oh my God.
I think I've got 2 of them. And the third one I kind of was just kind of like a giveaway. Okay, so
so you have all 3 then?
I don't think so. I think I've got a strong chance at 2.
Okay.
First, Maddie Mitchell.
You get 1 point. She's on there.
Yes. Okay, second, I put Giggly Squad. Hannah and Paige.
Interesting. We'll figure out how to score that. What was your third?
Okay, and then for 3, I put someone disc golf or animal related.
So we both went with like a vague.
Yes.
So I had. Okay, so what we can do, because I put 4, because I wasn't sure if you were going to say Giggly Squad together or separate.
Okay.
So I had Paige and Hannah as Paige number 1, Hannah number 2.
Okay.
So we'll count them as number 1.
Okay. So then I would get 1
point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Maddie, I have as 2 then. Mm-hmm. So 1 point. Mm-hmm. And then Shannon Ford is 3.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I forget that you are listening to Shannon's podcast. She's amazing, and I started following her because she was on a reality show.
I want to watch that just because she's on it.
It's good. It's entertaining. And I started following her best friend Taylor at the same time because they're just so cute. Oh, yeah. And then they're also friends with Anna Grace, who you know because of the podcast. So like all of them.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So what should we do next week?
Guys, we need an email from somebody out there.
Yeah, if you guys could email us some suggestions for Who's the Better Friend, what you would like to hear for Who's the Better Friend, that would be awesome. Maybe take a little bit of work off our plate.
So tune in 2 weeks. We're going to do Who's the Better Friend Favorite Christmas Movies edition.
Yay. Getting in the spirit. I'm excited. Got my Christmas blanket on right now. Feeling the vibes.
That looks so cozy. I've got a candle. I don't know if that means anything. It's not really Christmassy.
It's giving the vibes.
Okay. We both resolved so quickly. All right.
That's girlhood.
That's not the hill I'm going to die on.
Nope.
Okay, well, follow us on Instagram at OutOfTouchPcast. Follow us on TikTok at OutOfTouchMoments. And please send us an email with any thoughts whatsoever at outoftouchcast@gmail.com.
Boom.
Bye.